Recently on Elysium, my closest friend and/or teammate has been kidnapped by Sovereign, and I've been hunting for him for a month so far. I had no leads on where he was, so I decided to ask the civilization where he could be. After, taking one look inside, I already knew that these players are broke, as this throne room was pretty small, and there was literally no players in sight. But little did I know, there was just a bunch of players, but I just couldn't see them. But after reconsideration and seeing the shulker, I knew that these players weren't broke, as they had stacks and stacks of trims and a bunch of resources to use those trims. And the reason I started doing the F3A trick was because I looked in chat and seen players talking about some BAFK, I'll protect you. And I knew that they couldn't be far from the area, and they had to be located somewhere here. I just had to look properly. And after looking down for a bit, I found where they were located at. Here I found 3 players. I presume the one that's on Invis is their leader, but I'm not so certain. After protecting his leader in a bubble web, I decided to put down my shulker and get my pots in case a fight broke out, and this imbecile stole my chest plate with my trim, so I didn't let that slide. After attacking the player to get my chest plate back, they started jumping me, so I knew I had to fight back or I wouldn't be able to find JC.
Realizing I was running out of major utilities like pearls and webs, I knew I would have to retreat in order to restock and get some more to continue the fight. After fully gearing up, I continued to fight with the 2 players, and this time, I wasn't going to hold back, and I was going to use my full abilities, aka the Mace and Elytra.
After the leader ran, I noticed that the other guy got revived that fast, which means he had some connection to Sovereign, as the only way to revive somebody that quickly would be to have tons and tons of gear ready to be used. So, now that I knew he was a part of Sovereign, I wouldn't hesitate to kill him again. But then I noticed he shot me with a slow falling arrow, making my mace basically useless. So now I had to fight him on foot, but I had a suspicious feeling that it wasn't going to be an easy fight. And just as I said that, I realized that he was carding, which means that I had to be extra careful, as cards can deal some of the highest damage in Minecraft, being able to one-tap a player entirely. On top of that too, he was using his strongest form, the X-Bow, which is able to one-tap any player no matter how much health you have. So I knew I had to escape. And after escaping, I've come to the realization that those players don't know where JC's at, so instead, I left a note for him in case he ever found it.